Hi, Sonia. This is Janelle, and I'm just playing around a little bit today with PearDeck and Empowering Writers just to kind of give you a demo and show you kind of what I was thinking about. I know we talked about it, and then a lot of stuff happens. So you can watch this at your leisure and let me know what you think. So I just want to tell you kind of what I have here. This is actually just a PowerPoint. Remember, I told you that you can use any PowerPoint. It doesn't matter. You're just going to load Pear Deck as an add-in. So you will have to go to, I think you go to Insert. I don't know, mine's already loaded in here and add in. I'll have to find that, or maybe it's from home. Mine's already loaded, so it's hard for me to tell. But once you load it, Pear Deck will show up right here, and then you have all of this little thing pops up. So this is how you would create your interactive slides from your PowerPoint. And remember, this can only be used online, so you cannot use Pear Deck if you open PowerPoint in the app on your computer. You can only use the one in the browser. So all I've done is I'm just taking you through the PowerPoint, and I took a lesson that I think you guys are about to do. I don't know, you may have already done it, but it's from section 1, this narrative. I took lesson 7 and 8 just to show you an example of how I would have broken this down. So you've got lesson 7, and then it's analyzing assignments for givens and variables. I just took pieces and parts out of the Empowering Writers lesson and dropped it in here. So I'm just showing you this is what the PowerPoint looks like. I already have the interactive pieces attached to it, and you can see these are your interactive pieces over here. But the reason how I know that I've done this is it has this bar at the bottom. So once you've added an interactive piece to each slide, it'll have this. You can only add one interactive section to each slide. In other words, I couldn't have text and multiple choice. I can only have one or the other. But I think that's plenty. So now I'm just going to demonstrate how this would look. So I've already started by clicking Present with Pear Deck. And this is actually what it looks like if I'm presenting. So you have 3 views. You've got the presentation view, which think like this. If you were in class face-to-face, you would put this view up on the Promethean board. So the kids would be able to see this as you go through it. This one I have actually put in teacher led. There's a teacher led at the beginning, and then there's a student control. So if you assigned it for homework or something, or you wanted the kids to do it without you directing the slides or controlling the slides, you could put it in student control. This one is teacher control. So as I go through here, and let me show you what I've done. So this is the projector view. This is the view that they call it's right here, dashboard. So this is the dashboard view, and basically this is just how you're going to see how the kids are doing. Okay, so this would be like your view into their real-time work. And then in an incognito tab, I came down here, and this is me as a student. I signed in as a student. So let me just take you through here and show you how this would look. So let me go back to projector view. This is what you would project on the Promethean board. Here's your first interactive slide. How do I know? Because I can see that I've added this. So let me go. This is what it looks like. Let me go to the student. The student side looks like this. So they're going to highlight, and it says highlight the given element. Given element is, we're trying to find the given element. So they would use the highlighter here. They would choose yellow or whatever color. So the given element would be the main character grows and changes as the story unfolds, or whatever. If I go here, again, now they're supposed to highlight the variable. So I'm going to go here. Now it's on variable. I would choose it, highlight it, be sure to provide it, whatever your variable is. Okay, so then here is the next one. I'm going to go here, and let me just show you what it looks like here. So this is where I can see where the kids have done, this is the teacher dashboard, and it shows, this is just, there's only one student doing this. If you had multiple students, you would just change it to grid layout, and you could see all of these or you could stack them on top of each other. But since I'm the only student, then I'm just going to leave it here on the list view. So here is where you can tell what I've done as a student. So you've got 2 tabs open when you are doing a PearDeck. You don't have to have the PowerPoint open, but I still have it because I just made it. So here I am, and I'm going to go ahead and fast forward the next one. All right, here they're going to complete the writing framework. So on the student side, it's going to look like this. Now it is a draw, but the reason I chose the draw interactive part is because you get the text and they can literally just type right here. So whatever the topic is, then they might do whatever the main idea is and whatever the main idea too. So this is, they would literally, and you could have them do it in red if you wanted to or whatever, but this is how you would have them use text to fill something in. Okay, so whenever you go back here, let me just show you, this is the projected view. You don't want that, you don't want the kids to see that. Like if you projected it, you don't want to see other people's answers unless you do. Sometimes you might want to show that. In that case, you would click right here to the teacher dashboard, and whenever I go here, you can see this here. This is the slide I'm on, and here are the ones that were answered by this student, which is me. If you had multiple students, you could show all of them and then click into one. Okay, so let's go on to the next one. Here, I'm going to control it, and whenever time I click this, it controls it to the next one. There's no interactivity on this one. Digging deeper, can you tell away a person? Okay, so here, I think I did some interactive. Yes, this is actually a different type of text interactive slide. The other one's called draw. This is actually called text, but you can see that sometimes you want them to be able to annotate with text on top of the slide. This text slide is not, you can't type on top of it. They actually put their answer over here. So if I were you as a teacher, I would say, okay, you're going to put number 1, answer the question. Then you're going to put number 2, answer the question. Okay, so let's go look and see what this looks like from the teacher side. Remember, there's no answers here, but if I click here, I can see, well, oh, okay, so this is all it shows. Here's what the slide looks, but this is what the teacher sees. So you can see immediately what each student is putting in. Now, this is something I'll have to tell you about this. We'll talk about how the kids sign in. Right now, don't worry about that. Okay, so we're going to go here. I don't think there's anything to do on this slide, so let's go here. Okay, so let me go to this student slide. Again, I put a draw interactive slide because they're actually going to need to type here and draw here. So maybe the kids are drawing a picture of her being really sleepy. I don't know, I didn't watch it, but you get the, so, you know, it depends on what this says. They're going to make this and then they're going to type how Susie felt. So whenever I am in the teacher side, there's nothing, but if I go to the teacher dashboard, I can see, and I can pull this up bigger. I can see what I've done. Now I'm going to go to the next slide. Whenever I advance the next slide as the student, it advances the next slide. So you can see how you could literally lead the kids. And I mean, in your instance, I think it would be amazing to have teacher led and maybe have the kids at home tune in at the same time that you're presenting this to your face-to-face kids, because then their answers would show up at the same time the face-to-face kids are, like if you were teaching this. Just a thought. Okay, so now I'm going to go back here. Let me see if there's a different, there's nothing on this. Okay, so here's what it looks like, really strange. However, on the student side, this is actually the embed video, where the embed slide, where you can embed any type of website. I just embedded BrainPop Junior because this is making inferences. So the kids then would just click play. Now, when they click play, you see what happens. Because we pay for BrainPop Junior, they can't just go straight to it. But they could just click right here and log in through Clever and then watch the video right here within the PearDeck. So that I thought that was really cool how they could just do that right there. on the teacher side, you don't see anything, but if you go to the teacher dashboard over here, you can see it, that it's telling you this is a website that was embedded here. Okay. All right. So let's go here. Let me see if there's any different ones. Oh, I wanted to show you this one. This is the voting, or the dot, the dot one where the kids are actually moving their dot to vote. So this, and I mean, this you probably wouldn't put in there, but like you could read these questions. You would have them like in front of you on a piece of paper or whatever. And the kids are going to, let me back up a little bit. Here, let me go to the student side. So this is inferential thinking and evaluative thinking. So then the kids would vote. And what happens is you can see, I mean, this, you're not taking a grade on this. You just want to know if they know what each statement or question you're reading, if they think, is this inferential thinking or evaluative thinking? So they're just going to move their dot to whichever side. And when you look at it, what you're going to see is here, you know, like pretend like there's 20 kids voting on this. Well, then you could see immediately that, you know, 3 kids think it's this and 17 think it's this. So the majority of your kids have got that. If you read one of these questions or statements and, you know, 15 think it's this, but it's supposed to be this, then that, it's sort of like a formative assessment. You know, okay, they're not getting this. So I wouldn't really use this as a test as much as just really good feedback on whether the kids get it or not, or they're not getting it. And then let me see if I have any other ones. There's nothing on this. Oh, that's the questions. Okay. So this, I think I just ended up making this. Oh no, these are just instructions. Hang on. Okay. So here's their, basically just their reading passage, so they can read it right from here. You could also direct them to a website, or if you wanted to do a PDF, they could click on that and pull it up. I just took pictures of it and put it right in on the slide. Here are their questions. So when they go as a student, this is what it looks like. Again, this is the draw annotation, but the reason I chose draw is because within draw you have the text overlay, or the text annotation feature. So if I wanted to do it in red, I could come up here, I could type my answer here, I could type my answer here. You can see how this looks. So you might have to pull it up a little bit. So the kids literally could finish these sentence stems or sentence starters about the passage that they just read. And then you, as a teacher, would have the ability to see how they're doing. And of course, again, if you had a bunch of kids, you could see here and then just click into each one of them so that it's bigger. Or you could do here and it would be like a scrolling, like one on one after, like here's student 1, student 2's under that, student 3, student 4, and you could scroll down. So that is basically the end of, you know, me showing you kind of what I wanted to show you about PearDeck. I think it's got a lot of possibilities. I think there's so many ideas that it makes me think about. This was just an Empowering Writers. I think there's tons of other ways it could be used. The interactive features, again, which these are your features. You've got text. Remember, text is where it has the off to the side, the text box. I didn't even show you multiple choice. You could do a little multiple choice. You could do numbers if you like wanted them to choose paragraph 1, 2, 3, or 4, and then they could put their number. I didn't do that. This is the website embed, which I did with the BrainPop. This is draw, which also has the annotation feature of text, and then draggable is the dot. And there's tons of draggables. It's not just a dot. There's all different kinds of ways you can add draggables. So they also have a lot of templates. You can see, like if I click in here, PearDeck has all of these already prepared printables that you can just add into your PearDeck by literally just copying and pasting the slide. So they've really made it easy. They have a whole template library. Remember that you're going to create a PearDeck from any existing PowerPoint online. So it doesn't matter. You can craft your PowerPoint to look like any way you want it. You're in complete control. It could be as simple as you want it or as detailed as you want it. And then add the interactive features on top of it. The one other thing that I didn't show you is, like, let's say that I decide on the fly that I want this to be an interactive slide. I want this to be a new prompt. So I can click here and it says, okay, what do you want to stick in here? Like on the fly, in the middle of the lesson, I could put any of these. I could do one of these during class, end of class, keep going. You've got these prompts can be added, keep going. And these are overlays. So let's say I decided that I wanted a number answer. So I'm going to click this. Now, whenever I go to my student one, let's say that I said, okay, boys and girls, which of these do you think you would be the most important whenever you're writing your own paragraph? So then they would put a number over here. I'm just telling, this doesn't make sense with this, but what I'm showing you is that you actually can add in an interactive piece to this on the fly, like while you're doing your presentation. You don't have to do it before. You can add it anytime you want to. You can also stick a new prompt in anytime you want to. So like, let's say that I wanted to click this. Now, as you can see, this doesn't have it does not have anything on it. So then I would have to go here and go and also add this to it. So now whenever I go to the student side, you can see, and of course you might change this, please draw on the grid. That doesn't, or you could actually give them an answer. And I know this is math, but just stay with me here. You could actually just say whatever you wanted to out loud, and then they could add their answer. So I just wanted you to see also that while you're going in the middle, let's do one other one. Let's do one that makes sense for this. So, okay, true, false. All right, so here's true, false. Is this statement true or false? The statement's not going to appear here because you can say it audibly. You can just speak it. Or if you wanted to insert a text box here, you could do that. But now to make it interactive, I'm going to go here and add the draggable. Okay, so now whenever I go as a student, you can see, is the statement true or false? The kids would then have the dot where they could drag it back and forth. And this is all done in the middle, like if you decide, oh, I need to figure out if they are getting this or not. So in the middle of it, you could do this. Anyway, that's a lot to take in. I just wanted to kind of give you an overview. I've been saying that I was going to do that and just kept forgetting. So hopefully this video will get you started thinking about how you could use it. I don't mind you having this PowerPoint if you want it. If you don't, that's fine. Y'all may have already done it, but just let me know if you do want it. Otherwise, I'm just going to send you a video and get your brain thinking, and you tell me if you want to go any further with this. If I don't hear from you, that's totally fine. It's a lot to take in. But if you want to sit down and talk about it some more, or maybe I could work with all 4 of you that are doing distant learning, I think PearDeck is an amazing tool that could bring your kids that are at home and have the experience of learning with the kids in the classroom, or you could just do it as a homework, which would be self-paced for students. So let me know what you think, and reach out if you need me to come over. Thanks.